educationist. She is a businesswoman. She is, if you like, a politician. She is, very importantly, a disciplinarian. She's a whole lot of other things. We intend to unfold all of that as the show goes on. My name is Elizabeth, and I will be right back. Don't go away. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. Fine, thank you. How are you? You look very bright today. You look nice. And I like your voice too. It's nice. Time you already caught a glimpse of my guest. She is Dr. Gloria Laraba Shodi. She has a lot of things attached to her name because of her success. My guest is one guest you just have to sit up and listen to, because beyond just getting to know her better, you will be picking up one or two things that will help you in case you're having challenge to help you climb the ladder of success. And I want to start by saying that she is our president. Yes, you are the woman's president. And I've been there since 2016. You know, when I saw that, I recall, I said, wow, how has she been able to cope? I mean, it's not easy to manage women.
It's not easy.
How have you been able to cope with it?
I would say it's the grace of God, because honestly, to manage women is very, very difficult. You know, women, we are a special species made by God. You know, you can imagine it's some men having many wives. Mm-hmm. Of course, they don't stay at home. Mm-hmm. They are always outside their homes because they can't cope. Mm-hmm. And for you to manage women from all over the country, the 36 states and FCT, and the athletes, there's so many, it's so difficult. Everybody with their different styles. And you know, women, we like to be our own bosses. Women like to be their own bosses. So everybody comes with a different kind of style, with their own opinion of the way they think you should behave, the way you are not behaving well, the way you have not done well, you have not carried them along while they are in their houses, doing their businesses. They expect you to call them from their homes so that you can carry them along. So many things. You have to be very, very patient, honestly. You have to be very, very patient and understanding, because, you know, we carry a lot of problems. Women carry a lot of problems. There's the husband's problems, there's the children's problems, extended family problems, societal, you know, issues. Like, I mean, even the societal discrimination is enough to make a woman upset.
Yes.
So women are carrying a lot of load on their shoulders.
And the husband always mentioned that for some of us women, you know, it's a funny setup. You're about to have your period, you're crying. The period comes, you're crying. Okay, the period ceases, you're crying.
Yes.
Hormonal changes.
Yes.
That's on its own.
So many problems.
It's a big
so many problems.
But somehow God always keeps us the capacity to cope with it, which is why I am not surprised you're able to do so much you've been able to achieve. Very importantly, your love for education. I noticed you kept climbing the ladder until you got your PhD, and then didn't even lose sight. You still went ahead to, set up a school after the dormitory. The hostel one is the one that beats me. How did you think about it, to set up hostel for secondary school people?
You see, when I was teaching in the secondary school, I discovered that there were many children that struggle to come from home. They struggle to come from home. Some of them live with teachers that, of course, you treat them. Some of them lived with strangers because they come from far away, and they have no hostels in the compound of the school. So I saw a lot of mushroom hostels springing up here and there. So I decided, as a teacher, to have a hostel of my own, where I kept the children. I had a bus that takes them to school and bring them back. I had matrons, I had cleaners, I had people to take care of them. That's how I started. And when I saw the success of that, I started my own school. I decided to start my own school. I was in 1993. I started my own school. So in 1993, I started with nursery and primary school. Then by 1995, I started my secondary school, and it still works strong to date.
Yes, one thing somebody told me, and I haven't had opportunity of actually visiting to see it for sure. It's your insistence on discipline and decorum, especially for the ladies. Where is that birthing from?
Yeah, I went to a missionary secondary school.
Okay, now I see.
So, and our teachers were British. My principal was a British woman, Miss Davis. So she was very particular about the way we behave, etiquette, and decorum. So when I started my own school, I made sure that you don't flog without writing it in the black book. You must register if you need to give capital punishment, and you have to do it in the presence of other teachers. You can't do it alone. You can't just call a child and begin to flog a child, because anything can happen. So because that was how I was trained. So I brought it to my school, and also the students, we were checked every week, and we do vocational and skill acquisition in my school. They learn once in a week. They have to learn something.
Yes.
That they go back home
Survival.
to survive. I learned those things when in the school, because in our school, when I was growing up, we did home economics. So I used to sew my own clothes.
Yes.
When I was young.
I remember back then, my underwear.
Yes.
The underwear I used to go to secondary school. The sisters then made me sew it while I was in primary 6.
Yes.
You had to. Your bed sheets, we thread and needle.
You sew your own clothes by yourself. So I thought, if I could do that when I was in school, then we must continue. Though these days the parents are not very, very encouraging, because some parents will come and say they don't want their children to suffer, they don't want their children to do things like that.
How come parents begin to see skill acquisition and maybe extracurricular activities as suffering for the children?
I don't know. Some parents believe that they don't need that. They sent their children to come and learn. They didn't send them to come and sew or come and do bags, and some people say so. And we make them understand that we have variety of things that they can learn. Your child must belong to one of those things, because they carry marks. So you have to make it compulsory. If you make it compulsory, they reluctantly allow their children to partake. So these are the things that we see. We see a lot of things in the school. We see parents coming to meet you to say, I want my child to write exam, but she's not very, she's dull, and can somebody write exams for them?
Oh my God!
Yes.
Did they really do that?
They do that. They do that a lot.
So whose result will it be? The parents, the writer, or the child?
I don't know. So it happens. A lot of things happen. Parents have been the cause of educational problems in this country. You will discover that parents they do all sorts of things to see that their children pass exams.
It's really sad. It's really sad. And I know that at a point you were the chairman of the governing council of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic in Abuja. In fact, I am proud to say that you were the first female, right?
Yes.
Okay. How has that experience impacted on you?
Yeah, I was the first female chairman of the governing council of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. There was resistance by the men.
As usual.
As usual. When I came in, they thought, okay, she will be a walkover. Just anything we want, we will do. But after some time, they discovered that I was thorough in my work, and it was not easy for them to just bring files and let me sign without reading, that kind of thing. And after some time, they had to just get along with me. And I can say that it was an interesting period for me, It was tough, but very interesting. One of the things I did there that I am happy I did was this roundtable discussion with the students. You can't just increase school fees of students without calling them and discussing with them. You discuss with them, you counsel them, tell them the reason why you have to increase school fees. Tell them the advantages they will enjoy, and then talk with them.
That's democracy.
Yes. So when you do that and you increase the school fees, you won't have a lot of pressure. Backlash will be reduced. And the school was a kind of rough school in those days because of cultism and all that, if you remember. But we had during my time we had very little episodes of cultism, because the student union government, we sent them to Accra University to go and do to go and understudy the student government there, and they went, they understudied them, they came back. The students themselves wrote on the board, a very big board outside the polytechnic, there are 1,000 ways to settle scores without violence.
That's
We
nice.
didn't say without violence themselves.
That's nice.
And they started behaving. They even built a recreation gazebo for the school and donated it to the school.
Wow.
After coming back from Accra University, seeing people how they behave in other places. So we need to be doing exchange programs in schools. So
A lot of things that happen to us, it's because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Even the unrest, if you ask me, among youths within the country, a lot of times is because they do not really understand what the older people are seeking or the direction they're going. So a lot of dialogue should be carried on at every point in time, so that we get to understand things better. Now, talking about understanding, I'm trying to still wrap my head around your personality as an educationist and as a business person, because in any world you enter, you excel. How do you manage this, and at what point did you go into business?
Well, while I was teaching, like I told you, I started my hostel, and I also had a kind of boutique by the side.
Oh, now I know where your fashion sense is coming from.
Yes, I had a boutique by the side, and I joined Nasima group. I joined the Shagamu chapter, and little by little I became the secretary of the Shagamu chapter, Remo Chambers of Commerce. After that, I became the president of the Remo Chambers of Commerce, and with time I became the president of Ogun State Council of Chamber of Commerce. So, because my business was flourishing, I was doing well, I resigned from work, from teaching. When I saw that the time I was spending in the class was clashing with the time I'm supposed to spend in my business to make money, so I just decided to resign.
I'm wondering, you have been seen as a role model, as a symbol of motherhood and ambassador of peace. A lot of us are going through things at this point. You too went through things. I'm sure it wasn't all that rosy for you, but at every point you always have a way of maneuvering to get a rose without being pricked by the thorns. How do we go about achieving the same success in any field we find ourselves?
You see, for women, sometimes women, when they get married, they relax. Depend on the husband, especially if the husband is, a little bit well-to-do. They decide not to improve themselves anymore educationally, and they believe that, I'm married now, I don't need anything anymore. I married at a very young age when I left secondary school. I got married as a young girl. And when I was getting married, I remember my mother was telling my husband that this girl is, brilliant. I hope she will continue studying after marriage? My husband said yes, she would. So I continued to push. After my first child, I wanted to go back to school. You know that kind of story. Oh, have the second one first. And I had the second one, and then I now stamped my feet, and that I have to go to school. So I went back to school. So I was going to school, making babies, going to school and making babies. So it was not easy for me. And I remember that my friends were saying, what are you looking for in the school? You are married, you are comfortable, your husband can feed you, he can take care of you. You are busy giving yourself stress. But today, the same friends, the ones that I still keep, they are still there, and they keep saying, when she was going to school, we were busy how? Now she has gone, she has met, we are still in the same place where she left us. So you see, my advice to women is that no matter where you find yourself or the circumstance that you find yourself in, follow your mind. That dream that you have, don't drop it. Continue to press forward. You will get there with determination. With determination, you will get there. Don't say, oh, now I'm married, I have 2 children. If I go to school, the girls there will be laughing at me. When they laugh at you while you are going to school, by the time you finish, you graduate like them, they will not have the children that you have at home. So you have something ahead of them.
You know what I always tell women? I said, if you're in school and you're pregnant, by the time you're graduating, you actually have a double honor.
Yes.
You know, it's dual certificates, and you may not understand it until
later.
You begin to reap from such an endeavor. It's actually important. So those of us who are listening, we're also learning. Now, I don't want to keep all about you, because there is another side of you that is inside the house.
Okay.
I've seen you do your work in the office, just one side of the work anyway. I'd like to know, who is Dr. Gloria Laraba Shodi at home? What do you do with yourself when you're not busy?
When I'm at home, where my husband is, I do the cooking myself, because my husband used to say that he knows when it is not my food. I don't know whether he just says it or not.
He perceives the smell of your fingers.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what
he knows when it is not my food. So I try my best to cook his meals, and like I'm here now, anytime I go home, I cook different meals and keep in the freezer so that they can warm and give him. And the moment that finishes, he will start calling, when are you coming? Like, my soup is finished though, that kind of thing.
Nice.
But here, because I'm so busy, I hardly go to the kitchen. I have who cook for me here. And when I come back, I'm so tired. What I do is I watch film. I like watching film, and then my news, either on my phone or on the TV. So I occupy myself with that. And you can never find me sitting down, not doing anything, just sitting down. It's not easy for me. So they keep people living with me keep, mommy, wouldn't you just rest? I say, I'm resting. This is part of my own resting. Either I'm watching film or I'm checking things on my phone or my laptop or anything. That's what I do.
That's lovely. But then you haven't quite told us everything, because over the years, people grow old. You're not exactly growing old, you're growing younger. What are you doing to yourself?
Maybe because I like wearing nice things. I like fashion. That's something I like. And sometimes I even have to press myself down and say, don't overdo, that kind of thing. But I like fashion. When I was growing up, I had a boutique, like I told you, and I was growing up. This hair, I used to do my hair like yours. Then, but when you are getting older, you have to tame down your kind of dressing. And here, when I've become the president of the National Council, I have to be a role model to the women. I have to dress in such a way that it will suit everybody. That nobody that sensibility will be abused. So that is what I do. Apart from that, I'm a happy person. I don't keep people in mind. If I get angry with you, you will know. I'll let you know that I'm angry with you, and that is the end of it. I don't like I used to say, to my husband. I don't do post-mortem of
anger
issues that have happened, and I start thinking that something happened yesterday or day before yesterday, we have to be talking about it over and over again, because I believe that it has happened today, it will quarrel today, we should throw it away because we have to quarrel tomorrow again. That is my own way of life.
Okay, you need to clear the space.
Yes, yes.
Can fit in properly.
Yes,
it makes sense.
We have to. I mean, there's no way we are not going to quarrel.
Definitely, but the basic thing is that you get to solve it at the end of the day.
If you pile them up, then you are in trouble. You are in trouble. That's
just before I take leave of you, the politics are all playing out around the corner. I'd like to know your thoughts on women participation, in today's politics. Are we bringing ourselves out enough? And then if we're not, what can we do to, ensure that we have enough female representation?
I'm always an advocate of women participating in politics. Bring yourself out. If you have the lever to participate in politics, why not? I'm always encouraging women. We have done mentorship programs to make sure that the people that are in power now, the ministers, the senators, House of Rep members, we have had a program that we brought them together and told them to please mentor other people from their areas, bring them up, train them to come into politics, and that women should start from the grassroots politics. It's not everything about coming to become a senator or coming to become a member of the House of Rep or House of Assembly. Start from councillorship and then and grow from there. Become chairman of local government. Grow from there. A lot of women want to join politics, but they want to join from the top.
Yes.
That is probably what I used to tell them. Don't start coming through the roof. Start from the grassroots and grow. So I encourage women to come out for politics. Things are not very, very easy in Nigeria, I know. The politics of Nigeria is money politics, I know. But then, many political parties have soft landing for women. I think women should just come out. Try your best, whatever you can do. If you are not able to get it this time, you get it next time. So politics, I think women are not doing enough.
We should even begin to vote ourselves. Some people say we go out there, the population we have, if we can vote ourselves, women will take up almost every seat.
But you know that women, we have problems of that. Women who rise to the top, they don't want any other person. They throw away the ladder.
Wow.
In fact, most of the time, a lot of women that are at the top, they want to suppress. And when they see women that are rising, they want to even suppress those ones that are rising. And say, what the hell, do you want to be like me? How dare you?
And when you're dead and gone, who replaces you?
That is it. So, and anything that is, even life has tenure, not to talk about political offices or any other thing. Life itself has tenure. You know that you will not remain in this place forever. And you know that you are growing older. You must have people to take over from you. And that is why in NCWS, I started the youth wing. So that the youth wing will take over from us. We are getting older, we are facing out. Those people are growing, they should come and take our place. That is how it should be. And it should be the same thing in politics. We should be able to hold the younger ones' hands and pull them up. Not pull them down syndrome that a lot of us do. We don't want. We want to take our legs and put on top of the people that are coming up. And then we continue going up. If there is space there, we go. We don't want to replace ourselves with other people. We want to go up and up. We want to put people at the grassroots where they can continue to bow down to us. That's what a lot of people do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Putting your mind on the show, and we know that even as you're leaving office, you will continue to, do us proud, because you even started before you became the president of the Women's Society to bless and be a grace for the women. Listen, whether you have so many titles, I've been trying to read them and don't know where I'm going to start from. The Yeye Moye of Remoland, Yeye a person of Iperu, a Remo of Adariki in Peru, Erelu, I don't know all of it. So many titles here given to you, recognition for all you are doing for people. And I continue to pray that God continue to bless you
so much.
And enjoy yourself. You want to say hello to Mr. Shirley? Shout out to him and tell him you're coming back to cook.
My dear, I will soon be back to cook for you for a very long time. I know you have missed my food and all those ogbono soup that you like. I'm coming to cook for you.
All right. The show is a woman, and that's where we wrap it up for today. Please, whatever you do, remember one thing she said today. Life itself has a tenor. And you must come and you must bow out at any point. But what is important is, did you hand over the mantle to someone beside you? It's important. Don't go over with it. Bye.